everyone. Good morning. I hope that everyone will be joining us this morning. I'm going to come a little closer while I talk to you this morning. We are going to practice, actually you guys can't really see me right there. We're going to be practicing some of our breath this morning, which is super, super important. Talking about what we've got going on and everything. So I just want to kind of make sure everyone knows how to breathe correctly. If you know me, you know this is a huge deal for me. Breath is super, super important, especially since the problems that we're having right now are a respiratory problem. So if everybody could real quick grab some kind of a stopwatch or a phone or, just anything that can kind of measure your time. So we are going to try to measure your breathlessness this morning. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes before we get started. So please go grab something like that. Make sure you have your mat ready and, get some water, get, whatever you need, do your routine that you got to do before you get ready. And then we're going to start in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to go run and grab all that stuff. And then I am going to run and grab something real quick to do the same. And I'll see you back here on your mat in 2 minutes. So please go get that stuff. I want to be able to measure everyone's breathlessness this morning. So again, my name is Bridget Gibbs, and I'm so excited to practice with you this morning. So thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. And I'm so blessed. I know that there's so much going on, but I still feel super, super connected to everyone, and I'm so, so thankful for that. So everyone, please go run and get something to measure your breathlessness. So some kind of stopwatch. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Go! Now I'm going to grab some water. And we're back. So everybody, I hope you guys have your stuff to measure your breathlessness. I'm going to get a towel real quick because I'm a sweater. Okay, so if everybody's got their timer, please take it out. And what I want you to do is just breathe in normal through your nose and breathe out normal through your nose. So every time I ask somebody to breathe in normal, they're like, no, I'm like, that's not how you normally breathe, is it? So, and also when we're inhaling, so when I tell people to take a deep inhale, usually this is what I see. And it's like, we should not be breathing upper chest. So when we take a deep inhale, ooh, you guys are going to really see some. So when we take a deep inhale, our belly should move. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So that is how you should be breathing all day, and so you really want to focus on that breathing. So with your timer, I want you to take a normal inhale. So normal inhale through your belly, normal exhale through your belly, and then plug your nose. And as soon as you plug your nose, I want you to hit start on your timer. And then as soon as you feel a definite need to breathe, you'll feel a jolt in your neck, or maybe you'll up here down in your diaphragm. So as soon as you feel that, hit stop. And that is your BOLT, which is your blood oxygen level test. And so that is measuring your breathlessness. And so what we want to work on is your diaphragm breathing and making sure that you guys are breathing correctly. This will help you if you get around anyone who has this virus. It will help you because that is more of a respiratory thing. So I'm a big stickler on breath, and now this is just proof of why we want to breathe very, very shallow breaths. So please, everybody, measure your bolt real quick. And then if you could please put your bolt time in there, that would be so awesome. I would just love you forever if you would do that. So put your bolt time in. So again, we're breathing normal through our nose. We're exhaling normal through our nose. Plug your nose and hit start. And then as soon as you feel a definite need to breathe, you'll hit end, and that is your bolt. And then so hopefully everyone is done. That shouldn't take less than a few minutes. So hopefully everyone's done, and I love everybody. I see everybody joining, so that's super great. I love you guys so much. So I want you to hold onto your ribs now. So grab onto your ribs, so feel where your diaphragm is, which is right underneath where your ribs stop, and then just kind of hug and squeeze onto your ribs. And then you can close your eyes or leave them open, but when you take a deep, long inhale, your ribs should move out. So we are horizontal breathers, not vertical breathers. So when we breathe, we shouldn't be breathing like that. We should be breathing like this. We should be breathing like this. Our back should move. So everybody thinks I'm crazy when I say that, but your whole body down here should move. So grab your ribs, and then I want you to inhale. So you're going to inhale, So you're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then you're slowly going to exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give me one more time. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you should have felt your ribs moving out when you were inhaling, and you should have felt your ribs completely kind of collapsing away from your hands on your exhale. So if you did not feel that, that is something that I want you guys to start working on. It's very, very, very important. And I want you to work on, so until you can get your breath up, so try to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and then double your exhale. So for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And so then try to work yourself up to inhaling for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're slowly going to exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So really practice working on those, and then practice maybe holding your breath. So we want to make sure that we're not breathing out through our mouth, because that takes away a lot more oxygen out of our blood and messes with our hemoglobin. So we really want to breathe in and out through our nose. Our mouth is for eating, our nose is for breathing. So as long as we remember that, and anytime you're sitting down or anything, take a second, put your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly, find out how you're breathing. So how am I breathing in this pose? Or how am I breathing right now? Is my chest moving, or is my belly moving? Am I doing shallow, short breaths, or am I doing long breaths? And so shallow, short breaths are very, very unhealthy. So we want to try to get our breath down to about 6 breaths per minute, and most of us are breathing between 20 and 30 breaths per minute. So we really, really need to focus on extending the breath and really helping ourselves hold our breath. When we walk up a flight of stairs, we should not be out of breath. So that is measuring your breathlessness. So hopefully everyone did your bolt, and I love every one of y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started and shut up. But we had Nikki, my friend, on yesterday, and she's awesome. And she did the breath of fire. Sorry, I'll wipe my pits real quick. She did the breath of fire in a different way yesterday, which I really loved. That was really cool to see her do that. So this thing right here is just not letting me. Hello, boobies. Sorry about that. Okay, is that better? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully. So anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I always start my practice with a breath of fire. It's an upregulating breath, and it turns on your nervous system and gets your body ready for practice. It also helps clear out your nasal passages because we're breathing in and out through our nose the entire practice, trying to keep our mouth closed. So pranayama is like more breath extension. So we're trying to extend our exhales. And so we're breathing in when we go up. And then when we exhale, we're exhaling all the way down. And we're exhaling through our nose. So trying to control that breathing. And so it comes from your belly, and you're pressing from your lower belly. You're pressing all the air out, and the inhalation comes automatic. And so I'll do it with my mouth open, but we'll do it with our mouth closed. And so it looks like this. So we do it with our mouth closed, which is more. So I'm just pressing all the air out, and the inhalation comes automatic. And so we'll take it, and you can hold onto your chest. That would be great. And so hold onto your ribs, and you're going to take a deep inhale. And then exhale, intentionally push your belly back towards your spine and kind of close this V right here, allowing your diaphragm to kind of relax. And then inhale, and then we'll exhale, exhale, exhale. And we'll do 3 rounds of 20. Y'all ready? Woo! It's like getting high on your own supply. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. So I only do the breath of fire for about a minute before class. It's an upregulating breath, and it just turns on your nervous system and gets your body ready for practice. But if you can do the breath of fire for about 3 to 5 minutes, especially if you're going to have to go to the grocery store or if you're going to have to be around people during this kind of scary time, 3 to 5 minutes of breath of fire before you go out in public, I'm telling you, it revs up your nervous system. It'll help you tremendously. So I hope that you guys will really, really try to do that. So anyway, sitting back, you can sit in any position that you like. You know, of course, I love broken toe pose, but just sit in any comfortable position that you like. And then taking your hands onto your ribs, stacking your vertebrae, and maybe even consciously pushing your neck back so everything is kind of in a line. And actually, make sure you're kind of sitting on your sits bones here because we want to feel grounded. So just kind of rooting everything down. So stacking your vertebrae. And then inhale, big belly breath. And then exhale, sink down and close the V. And then inhale deeply and exhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. Sharp exhalation through the nose. Exhale, 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 exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And just take a second. Anytime we put our hand on our heart, it lets our nervous system know that we're okay, that we're safe. So really try to focus on putting your hand on your heart whenever you're feeling a little nervous or scared. And just let your nervous system know we're okay. And then rooting down, all the way down into the ground. So from the top of your head, all the way down your spine, coming out of your sits bones, and just rooting everything down, all the way down through the concrete, through all of the gravel, and the craziness that's going all the way through the earth, and just becoming more connected, more grounded in your life. Setting an intention for your practice today. making sure every day you are a better version of yourself. If we're not growing, we're dying. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. So open your eyes and come to your downward facing dog. And so just have your knees bent here and really take your sits bones up towards the ceiling. And so just kind of playing around with it, being really gentle with your body this morning. Anytime it's really early in the morning, you just kind of want to be a little bit more gentle, so taking a deep bend in your knees, maybe even taking your knees all the way to your chest if you can. Really pressing back, so you're pressing the mat away and pulling your shoulder blades down and back, lengthening in the spine, and just breathe. And then go ahead and straighten out those legs and just kind of bicycle them. Maybe you twist and look underneath opposite armpits. And then find stillness. So I always tell everybody, act like you've got a ball underneath your mat and you're trying to squeeze it. So we're really trying to take all of the pressure into our hands and not dumping down in the wrists. So we're trying to build up the hands and avoiding the dumping in the wrists and the wrist pain. And make sure you're always pulling those shoulder blades down and back, really lengthening in the spine, looking at your knees or your belly button, and then come up onto your tiptoes and really press your heels up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, press your heels down into the mat. And maybe they're not there, that is totally fine. But if you have them there, see if you can lift your toes up and really fire up the front of your legs. And then inhale deeply through your nose. Open up your mouth inside out. Inhale deeply through your nose. Open up your mouth inside out. Keeping that same breath through practice, but with your mouth closed, making your exhalations longer than your inhalations. And then go ahead and come to all fours. And we're just going to do a couple of cat-cows this morning, just really kind of waking the body up. So as you inhale, you're going to pull your shoulders back, really squeeze everything back towards the middle of your back. Your butt is coming up and you're arching your back. And then maybe even try to get the feeling, so tuck your toes, that your sits bones are even opening up back there for you. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis, really press away. And then inhale, pull your chest through. Tuck your toes, really get that sits bones opening. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis. And then just take it around town for me. Take it around town. Take it around town. And just really get into those hips if you can. Just really taking it around town. Stop. Don't forget it. No. And so take your left hand up, looking up at your left hand, twisting, and then threading that left arm through. Now really try to lay on that arm if you can. And your right hand is going to go right in front of your face. You're going to act like you're pulling that arm out. You're trying to pull it out, but you're not. Just kind of opening up in the back of the scapula. And then use your right hand to twist, taking your gaze, your drishti, over your right shoulder, and breathe. Anytime you get an opportunity to twist or take your head below your heart, so healthy for you. And then slowly release. Take your right hand and look up and twist. And then threading it through. Again, laying on that arm and then acting like you're pulling it back out. Pressing into your left hand, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. This should feel real nice. I got it at Target. It was on sale. And breathe. And then slowly release. So take your right hand and your left foot and act like you're trying to rip your body in two separate directions. Like a vice grip is pulling you this way and then something else is pulling you that way. You're really trying to step that heel onto the wall, really flexing your feet. Take your leg and your hand out to the side for awkward airplane. Come on, y'all got this. Breathe. And then coming back and around, reaching back, grabbing the top of your foot, and then kick. So really kicking, trying to find that push-pull. If you can't grab it, which is I couldn't grab it for the longest time, so just press like you're trying to press that up towards the ceiling. And then switch, taking your left hand forward, gazes down towards your mat so we're not cranking on the neck. Really pulling your body two different directions. You know you can make yourself taller, right? And then taking your leg out to the side, your arm out to the side for awkward airplane. I know, this one sucks. And then reaching back and grabbing the top of your foot and then kicking again, finding that push-pull that we love so much in yoga. Almost everything in yoga is a push-pull. And release. Go ahead and tuck your toes and come to your downward facing dog. And just kind of sway your hips. And then hover your knees over the mat. Still pressing away. And straighten your legs. Come onto your forearms for dolphin. So this is really good if you're trying to build your strength up for headstand or tripod or any of the other arm balance poses and head poses. So really try to pull your chest through your arms and breathe. See if you can walk just a couple inches up. Yes. It sucks so good. And then straighten your arms. And then taking your hands, taking weight into your hands, start to walk your feet up and really try to take your weight forward into your hands, very, very slowly, coming up to your forward fold. And again, let's take our hands just a little bit in front of us and just kind of rock forward, taking a lot of weight into the hands, and then back, taking weight into the hands, trying to take your head through your arms, and back. One more time, pressing into your hands, and back. Step that right foot back behind you, and just let that leg kind of go out to the side, and just twist for a second. Woo! And stepping it back up to your forward fold, left leg steps behind you, and just twist. This one feels yummy. And then step back to your forward fold, grab opposite elbows, and really lean your body weight forward. So try to maybe even come up onto your tiptoes this morning. And just holding that body weight forward. Turning your head yes and no. And then inhale all the way up, palms pressed together. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. And then pull your shoulder blades down and back. Engage your quads and slowly take a little bit of a back bend. And then slowly go back a little further. Really try to take those arms back behind you to really open up in the head and neck. For any of us who have tension headaches, like to clench our jaw. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your flat back, and exhale, go back to your plank position. So in your plank position, make sure your butt's not sticking up, or you're not dumping down. So I see this very often. Make sure everything is stacked, and you're almost pressing forward, and then pressing back in your heels. So pressing forward, press back in the heels, and hold. And so when we're doing our half push-up, we're coming even more forward, bending the elbows into our side, and then coming up, upward facing dog. And just really give yourself yourself a second here in your up dog. Try to inhale as long as you can. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Everybody, you're in your living room, nobody can see you. Tuck your heels, bend your knees out wide, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. And then as you exhale, I want you to reach over to the right side, keeping your arms next to your ears, so don't cheat and grab thumbs. And pressing into that hip. And then inhale back to center, and as you exhale, take your arms over to the left. Again, keeping your arms by your ears, no cheating and grabbing thumbs, pressing your hands together. Inhale back, exhale forward, fold. Just kind of walk, taking a little bit more time in your down dog again, in your forward fold. And then inhale to your flat back. Exhale, step back to your half push-up. So if you can't do a half push-up, take your arm elbows, your eye elbows, and turn them forward. So these things right here, I call them your eye elbows. And so your elbow eyes. So turn your elbow eyes forward like this, and your elbows are going to go back in your half push-up. And so don't ever take it on your knees. It's not the same pose, and you'll never get off your knees. So if you can't go all the way down to your half push-up, turn your eye elbows forward and just barely bend, and then come up into upward facing. So I'll show you real quick. So if we're in our plank, I'm just barely turning those eye elbows forward and barely bending them, and then coming up into upward facing. So breathe. And then tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your heels together, bend your knees out wide, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. And then hands to prayer center. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. It's everyone's favorite pose. Come on, guys. Come up into your chair. And so make sure, so arms are pressed together because it's harder. Don't give up on yourself. I don't give up on my students. I know you guys are better than you give yourself credit for. So sink lower, arms are together. Give yourself a little micro tuck in your hips so you're not dumping everything into your back. You're taking it more into your legs. And sink lower. Come on, guys. Look down. Can you see your toes? If you can't, lean back more. Breathe. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sorry. So, gotta move my sockies up or it gets slippery. So anchor your left foot at a 45. So 45, so my toes are forward, and I'm angling my toes out to a 45. Right leg comes up, and then use your core to step between your hands. So really engage your core. I don't cheat yourself. And then come up into your warrior one. And so make sure in your warrior one that everything is forward. Hips are forward, shoulders are forward, and that heel is down because we're also working on ankle mobility. And so everything is forward in a warrior one. And so here, so if your hips are kind of open, you press back with this leg. pressing back to press everything forward. Now just reach forward for me. And really pull those shoulder blades back, pressing into that back heel and your left heel, and just keep coming forward. Interlace your hands behind you, humble warrior. Coming on the inside of your leg. Keeping everything forward, so if your body tries to twist forward, press it forward. Coming back up into your warrior one. Exhale, open up to warrior two. So let me switch sides. So warrior two. So everything is open. And using that knee to even press that knee out. And then reach forward, reverse your warrior, keeping that bend in the front knee. Straighten out your front leg. Really squeezing your legs together, but give yourself a second to open up those ribs. And then squeezing your legs, reaching forward, finding your point of compression. And then coming down, taking it down onto your shin or the floor or a block, wherever you are, and then twist. So looking up at your left hand, and you're really trying to twist and pull your body forward, and then also get like a lift. And take your bottom hand and reach it forward. Come on. Come on. Squeeze her, no one else will. And then come back to your warrior two. Take that elbow on the inside of your knee, pressing your knee away. Arm reaches up and over, twist. Coming back to your warrior two, and circle your hands all the way down to vinyasa through to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying. Ah! Oh, yes. We're going to try it back over here. All right, so you should be in your down dog. And then that right leg anchors to a 45. Left leg comes up. Engage your core. Step between your hands. Come up, warrior one. So again, make sure everything is pressed forward. And you're pressing back into that heel. That left leg is pressing back. Twist forward. And then reach forward. So all the way from your right heel, all the way to your fingertips, everything is pressing. Hold. Interlace your hands behind you, humble warrior. And then inhale back up to your warrior one. And then exhale, open up warrior two. So again, take that knee and press that knee out. So really press that knee out towards your pinky toes. You can even turn your toes out a little bit to really open up in the hip and groin. And then reach forward, reverse your warrior, keeping the bend in the front knee. And then straighten out that front leg and just get a little bit more of a stretch. I actually love this one so much right here. Again, squeezing those legs together, finding your point of compression, because we want to take the least amount of bending in our spine. So find that point of compression in your hips first. So mine gets about right there. Everybody has a different skeleton, a different body. Everybody's going to look different in every pose, and that is okay. And so reaching that right hand up, and then pulling your body forward. Again, getting the feeling that somebody's lifting you up with your right hand. So find some space in your body. Take that bottom hand and reach forward. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then exhale back to your warrior two. Take your elbow on the inside of your knee, pressing your knee away. Arm reaches up and over and twist. So it's like one solid line from my heel all the way forward. Side angle lunge. Breathe. So in triangle, our arm is up. Side angle lunge, our arm is up and over, and we're twisting. And then coming back to warrior two. Circling your hands all the way down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. facing dog. And just take a few breaths here. You never thought this would be the relaxing pose, did you? I know when I held you in down dog for a little bit, you were like, when is she gonna stop? Now it's your relaxing pose, see? Let me grab some water. I'm losing my voice this morning. We were screaming last night watching some games. Woo! All right. Hope you guys are still staying in your down dog. So back to your down dog. Take your heels together. So really focus on taking a lot of weight into your hands. Because really what you're trying to do is come up and get those hips up over your hands. So we're trying to be able to come up and then step between our hands. So that's why I have you guys, it's like getting you ready for that. So taking those knees together, take a lot of weight into your hands, try to step between your hands. Inhale, flat back. So really pull back in your shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, touch the floor, everyone's favorite. And then reach up, and then sink down and back. Can you see your toes? Take your hands to prayer center. Left elbow goes on the outside of your right knee. Make sure your knees don't splay open. So outside of your right knee, hands to prayer center, and then press to twist. So as you inhale, you'll exhale and sink lower and twist. And then keeping your twist, step your left leg back behind you with your warrior one leg. I'm going to make my stance a little bit longer. And twist. Trying to keep that left heel down. Breathe. Twisted side angle. And then stepping back up to your twisted chair. Coming back up. And then hands to prayer center. Right elbow on the outside of your left knee and twist. Again, each inhale and exhale, twist more. And then step your right leg back behind you, keeping that heel down and twist. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. We did it! So take your peace fingers, because peace, I hope you love me. And grab your big toes. And so we're going to inhale, look up, pull up. And then as you exhale, just start to lean forward. Taking your arms out, head and neck relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are not your earrings. So pull them down and back. Turning your head yes and no. And then very, very slowly release. Take your hands up to your waist and slowly come up. That one never gets easy, guys. I wish I could tell you it did, but it does not. Hold on, I'm going to take this off. Don't look at me. No, look at me. All right. And so now, at the top of your mat, you're going to step that left foot back just a little bit. So it's not a huge step. So we're just kind of stepping back about 2 feet. But make sure your hips stay forward. And we're externally, so I don't know if you can see that on camera, but we're externally rotating that front leg, firing up our deep six in the booty. Sorry. And internally rotating our back leg. So externally front, internally back. And then we're ripping our mat in 2 separate directions. And so you can take opposite elbows, opposite hands, which is my preference to try to help you with shoulder mobility. Or if you have a rag, which is just a paper towel, but you can take a rag and hold that rag and just keep trying to work it up. So wherever you are, or if you're in your shoulder mobility is awesome, you can take reverse prayer. So wherever you are, you still want to keep those shoulders pulled back. So don't let them come forward. So you still want to squeeze that ball. And so again, externally, internally, and then hinging at the hips, leaning forward like somebody's pulling on your head. Start to lean forward. So make sure that your hips are not going one way or the other. And so really engage those legs to make sure your integrity in your hips stays straight and your spine stays straight. And then slowly release your bind. Be very, very slow and careful with your legs. Take your right hand onto your sacrum, your low back, and just make sure that your hips are not going cattywampus, that you could put like a bowl of cereal there and it would never go away. And so twist. And so pull that right shoulder blade up and twist. Keeping the integrity. You really got to squeeze those legs to not fall. Breathe. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Actually, wait a minute. Step back into it. My friend Nikki did a really cool transition last night. I told her I'm going to steal it. So from here, you're going to come up into your warrior three. And so really, really reach your body forward, really pressing into that back heel. Take your right hand down to the mat. And so until you get that hip stack, so focus on stacking the hips first. So you're really stacking the hips. The more you press into that heel and make that leg strong, the more balanced you'll be. And so once you get that, then you're going to take your left hand up and slowly take your gaze up towards your left hand. And that's a lot of times when we lose our balance. So when we take our focus off of what we really need to do, we kind of fall a little bit, yeah? So breathe. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Yeah! I hope y'all did it. Let me know if you did. So just kind of shake it off for a minute. Don't give up on yourself. You guys can just try and keep trying. If you fall out, get back in. So take your feet wider than hip width distance this time. Take your hands all the way underneath. We never get a counterbalance on our hands too much in yoga. So really massage your hands for a minute with your toes. Or even if you just have your fingertips under there, just wherever you are, but just kind of take a little bit of weight into your wrists. Just kind of ring side to side. And then you're going to inhale, look up, pull up. And then as you exhale, you'll take your legs straight, your chest away from your legs, and just release down. Maybe sway side to side. And you're leaning your body weight forward. So in this pose, the advancement is to be tiptoeing into your fingertips. And so as you can see, if I fall forward, I'm going to smash my head. So you better know what you're doing. So this is an amazing example of the push-pull in yoga. So we're pushing and pulling, trying not to fall. Breathe. And then slowly release your hands. Take your hands up to your waist. Shot the sheriff. Does that look fuzzy to you guys? Like Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear? I don't know. And so stepping that right foot back behind you. Hips are forward. So this is called an intense side stretch. So we're actually stretching more of the spine. I know it feels like hamstrings and everything in your body, but we're really trying to get spinal extension here. And so externally rotating that front leg, of course, we're still working our legs too, but internally rotating the back leg, taking whatever bind you took on the other side, and then squeezing the legs apart, hinging at the hips. You're trying to take your heart towards your ankle. When my teacher first told me that, I thought he was insane. Because I was about right here and I wasn't going any further. I was like, yeah, right. So that's why yoga is always a practice. And so you cannot look at other people and how they look in their practice. Everybody's practice looks different. Everybody's in a different place in their practice. Breathe. And then slowly release that right hand, take it on the outside, hand on the low back and twist, making sure your hips stay squared. Breathe. And then from here, going into your warrior three, so right leg comes up, hips are squared down towards your mat. Left hand goes down towards the mat. So remember, we're not taking weight into this hand. This is just a balancer, so try to do it just on your fingertips. We're not taking weight. So I think that's where a lot of people struggle. So just barely kind of fingertip it if you can. If you can't reach, a block is a great place for this. But slowly start to really get those hip stacks like you're trying to fit between a plane of glass. And then your right hand is going to come up. And then again, slowly taking that gaze up towards your right hand. And that's usually where a lot of people fall, because it's extremely challenging. And then again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can always try to grab that foot for sugar cane. And just really get another back bend out of it. It's really, really nice. And then step to the top of your mat, forward fold. And then step your right foot out big and wide. Hands up on your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. So again, we want to lean our body weight forward here and just let gravity kind of take over like it has on my whole body. And just leaning forward. Head and neck is relaxed. Interlace your hands behind you and then just let them kind of relax over. Make sure your palms are together even if you don't go as far, because you don't want to risk your shoulders. Ever, ever. Shoulders are very intricate. Breathe. And then slowly come up with the flat back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold again. But release your hands, take them down to the mat, and then try to match your palms up with your heels, and then try to pull your body through your arms. And so you're going to have your chaturanga arms, your half push-up arms, these ones here. So those elbows are going back, and you're trying to pull your body through your legs. And again, leaning that body weight forward. If you have your arms bent far enough, and you feel like you can sit on them and make a shelf, you can start working on this. And then maybe one leg comes up, maybe both. So try to work on different things that will challenge your mind and body. And then coming back up. And then inhale all the way up, flat back. Taking your hands. Okay, this week has been crow week. Where y'all at? So I've been putting videos online on how to do crow. So hopefully you guys have been practicing. Like I said, yoga is a practice. Hopefully you guys are practicing, not just when you're doing your classes. So taking your hands, right hand goes down, hopefully in front of your shin on the outside of your right foot, but you might not be there, just wherever you are, and twist. And so just really taking some deep inhales and exhales in your low back. Gaze is up towards your left hand, breathe. And switch. Left hand goes on the outside and twist. And then back to center. Hands are down in front of you. And so you're just putting your hands down, and you're acting like that invisible ball is underneath your mat. Come up onto your tiptoes. And so we are going forward in a crow, like we are going forward in half push-ups. So I think this is the misconception of a lot of people, like we're actually leaning our body weight forward. And so you're just going to come and start taking your butt up, and your knees are going to squeeze into the back of your arms onto your triceps. And then you're going to lean your body weight forward like we do in half push-up, and my arms are a shelf. And so maybe one leg will come up, maybe both, taking your heels together. And breathe. And so make sure that your arms aren't on the outside of that's a totally different pose. That's frog. And so that's a lot easier. So that's where a lot of people start, And if it helps you to kind of get your body lifted up, that's fine. But crow, we have our arms onto the back, making a shelf. So see how I've got like a shelf? And then I'm leaning my body weight forward. And my core is lifting my legs up. Because eventually you're going to start to straighten those arms and just have your legs held onto the back of your arms all through your core. So how are we doing? If you fall, get back in. So don't let the fact that you fell or the fact that you came out of it or you think it's too hard, keep trying. So I want you to try at least 3 times on your crow. So get back into it. Like I said, it's all core, all core, all core. So everybody come to down dog with me real quick. And so give me either 10 frog hops, but see how you don't hear me land? I don't want to hear this. So a frog hop or donkey kick. Again, I don't want to hear you land. So give me 10 of those wherever you are. Because I need you to realize your core is what holds your legs up. Your core is what holds you up and down. Headstand, in a forearm stand, everything. So how you doing? And then as soon as you get done with those, come to your child's pose. So calm your breath back down. Make sure your breath is calmed back down so you can breathe again normal with your mouth closed. And then come back to your downward facing dog. Look between your hands, take your hands wide, and then jump through your hands into boat. So come on, boat with me, people. Boat. Come on. Maybe you can straighten out your legs, maybe you can lift your hands up and hold. And lower down for 3, for 2, and 1. And so tuck your knees to your butt. So take your knees to your butt. And then interlace your hands underneath you. And so really, really pressing up into the hips. Make sure your feet don't splay out, that they're still forward and knees are forward. So try to reach back and touch your heels, and then you're going to interlace your hands underneath you and press up. And so we're trying to get our chest up towards our chin, not our chin towards our chest. So each inhale and exhale, press. Should see big belly breath here. And then slowly release. And just windshield wiper your legs real quick. You guys are doing awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. I hope everyone is sticking with it. Just because we're confined does not mean that we're not still all connected and we all still have a place in everyone's heart. So I love you guys. So just because I love you, I'm going to take your heels to your back and your hands are going to come up and over. And then you're going to come up onto the top of your head. And so everyone can do this. Come on. And then if you can, you must. So press your body all the way up to wheel. So keep trying really, really hard just to press. Even if you're just right here, really, really press. If you're up in your wheel, try to take your chest through your arms. And just breathe and hold. So take yourself somewhere else, because if you focus on the pain, I promise you that's where it's going to grow. So focus on anything else. One of my students says, I focus on, I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. And then tuck your chin and slowly lower down. Yes, I know I'm crazy, but hopefully you love me anyway. Breathe. And then one more time, if you can, you must wheel. So come back up into your wheel. Come on, guys. Do not give up on yourself. You're lucky I can't see you. I need to make it where I can. Well, I actually do privates where I can see you and you can see me, and then there's no way out. There's nowhere to run. And so once you're done with your wheel, tuck your chin and just lower down, windshield wiper your legs again. Just kind of release your low back. Take your knees up towards your face, and then just start to walk your hands underneath your back, trying to come up as high as you can into a shoulder stand. Gaze is up towards your toes, and big, big belly breath here. So you should look like you're having triplets here. And then just hinge at the hips, taking your toes back behind you and breathe. And then taking your hands down and just slowly lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae. And taking your knees and rock and roll 3 times. Woo! And then sloppy fold. Don't try to go anywhere, just fold over. And then coming up onto your knees, interlace your hands in front of you. Your hairline is on the mat. So my hairline right here is touching the mat. My hands are being squeezed by, my head is being squeezed by my hands. My head is not necessarily in my hands. You want to measure and make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. You don't want them out here compromising your shoulders. So make sure everything is stacked. We always want everything stacked. So we're trying to strengthen and lengthen all your tendons and ligaments. And so when you have them out here, you're compromising them. So interlace your hands and hairline comes on the mat. And make sure that you're hollowing out your back. And you're pressing everything. So do this with me. So you're pressing everything down into the mat. Pressing everything down. These are your 3 points of balance. Your hands and your elbows. And you're pressing everything down. It's almost like you're lifting your whole body up with just your elbows and hands. Hairline goes right in front of your hands, squeezing your head. Your head is not in your hands. And then you're going to start to walk your legs up into down dog. And then slowly keep walking up until your hips are kind of over your shoulders. And then maybe you'll just sit here and play around with this. Or maybe you'll take both legs up. And maybe you just stay here for a little bit. Because if you can get the foundation, this is the hardest part right here. And then you'll slowly take those legs up and just hang out. So make sure your legs aren't forward. A lot of people are too scared to take their legs back. But once you get stacked, you can like hang out here for hours. And make sure you got like only about 10 pounds of pressure on your head. And breathe. Woohoo! How we doing? Again, if you fall out, try to get back. Do not ever do this against the wall. I see it all the time in yoga studios. And that is the only way that you can actually hurt your neck in headstand is if you do it against the wall, you fall and you crank on that neck. So if you fall in headstand and just roll over, you might hurt your ego, but your body's okay. You do it against the wall, you're risking your neck. So please don't do this against the wall, ever, 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 ever. So how are we doing? Keep trying. I wish I was there because usually I'll come over and I'll hold one knee in so you can bring that other knee in because you have to really engage your core. So please, 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 I hope you guys are doing it. Just really, really try. Don't give up on yourself. And then as soon as you're done, I want you to go ahead and come down onto your mat. Palms are open if you need to receive more, or palms down if you need to be more giving, or if you're indecisive like me, you can have one palm up and one palm down. You know, I'm consistently inconsistently. So, and so just allowing your entire body just to let go. So usually, even when we think we're relaxing, we're still clenching in our body, in our jaw, in our neck, in our hip flexors, in our ankles. We don't realize it. So try to notice anywhere that you can just let go. And if a thought comes to you, recognize it as important or not and swipe it away. Don't try to go over practice or what you got to do later and why you're laying here. This is a very important part of your practice. This allows your body to absorb your practice, your nervous system to reset. So really take this time to just lay and let go, surrender, Shavasana. And just for time purposes, let's go ahead and slowly start to wiggle our fingers and toes, twisting in your wrists and your ankles, and then reaching up over your head and just kind of squeezing every muscle in your body. We did a lot of work on it today. And then come onto your right side in a fetal position, in a pose of gratitude. And just be grateful that you took this time for you, that you put your oxygen mask on this morning. We're always helping everyone else, and we're struggling on the inside. And then take your right hand to your left shoulder, your left hand to your right shoulder, and just give yourself the biggest hug and tell yourself, I love you. Thank you. Because we either take the time now to take care of ourselves and be healthy, feel good, or we take the time later to be sick. And then slowly come up to a seated position with your eyes closed. Taking your middle finger to the bridge of your nose, because I know that's the finger you guys want to give me this morning. And then remembering our mouth is for eating, our nose is for breathing. For that reason, we will inhale through our nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time, inhale for 1, 2, 3. Really find some space. I know there's room. Open up the cobwebs. Plug your nose and hold. Feel your body. Slowly exhaling for 4, 3, 2. Find the bubbles. Get them out. 4. Plug your nose and hold. Allow your body to be uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Hold. Release. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And just kind of check into your body. How do you feel now? Can you learn to change your pattern of breath? Can you learn to stop that negative talk? That two-person duality, that just negative, I don't like this and I don't like that person, and I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. That person. That's who we're quieting in yoga. Yoga is a discipline. We're disciplining our mind through our bodies, stopping that head chatter. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. Thumb knuckles to forehead. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I love you guys so much. Keep your practice up. Keep your head up. Keep your breath down. So I always tell my students, bend more and breathe less. So really, really try to focus on less breaths per minute. Try to get your breaths down to 6 breaths per minute. Please submit your bolt number to me because I would like to keep an eye on it through our journey together. And please submit your crow. I want to know how everyone's doing in their crow. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful morning and see you soon. Namaste. Hey guys, is anybody there? How is everyone this morning? So I apologize. I am not the greatest about having the phone in the right place and having everything in the right place. Does anybody have any questions this morning? I just want to thank you guys for joining me this morning, and I really, really hope you guys focus on your practice and your breath and everything else, and enjoy your Saturday morning. I love you guys, and I really hope that this is helping in any way that it can for you. And I really, really hope that everybody can start being more, just active and talking to everyone. And, oh, I love you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. It was so good to have you. So thank you. And I hope, let me know if there's anything else that you guys would like to see or would like me to do. So I'm here for you guys, and I hope that you guys still stay feeling connected and everything. So namaste, good morning.